What does that mean to you? Like the living big aspect. What does that mean?
So I think the cool part is, we can take face value of lift big and live big to be straight up what they are, right? Lifting big weights in the gym, or it can also mean, it's like it sounds lame to be like, oh, it's so metaphorical, right? But I just think there's so much application of, well, how many of us go through really hard trauma and really hard things in life that, we hope people don't experience. And you have that weight on the back of your shoulders that you have to get through, or situations that you need to move on and get out of, or whatever. But it's like the big thing with like kind of where live big came from was in coaching, every single space that I stepped into, I was kind of this disruptor in the space
Mhm.
of, it's like when I was really struggling with my hormones and really struggling with my health, my thyroid, all of this stuff, especially kind of from the I'd say like 2016 to 2020 bubble. It's like I was just in this place where it was like, man, like I have to make changes to the way that I'm eating and exercising and all this stuff. It's like I'm doing the most and my body is not able to hang with it. And so when I got really passionate about, researching and figuring out, okay, what are the things that I can do to improve my hormone health? What are the things I can do to improve my thyroid health and all of these things? It's like I had little bubbles that I would get, it's like I get really excited about something. So that's the content I was always producing. That was the things I was always talking about. So it's like, if you looked back over time, it's like when I was a competitive athlete, that's what, that's the things I was talking about. When I, got really nerdy about hormones and women's health and thyroid stuff, that's the things I was talking about. And so, fast forward present day, it's like I've always just been such a disruptor in the space of like, hey, in an industry that's always telling you to shrink your body and, profits off of you quite literally being at war with your
Yeah.
body and hating the way you look and being uncomfortable in your skin, for Paragon Training Methods to be this fitness company that's promoting for women to actually feed themselves. And hey, this is how much food you need to be eating in a day. And hey, like take rest days. And yes, we have program deload days. Here's how to get the most from doing the least so you can go live a big life. That's been such a big thing as we've grown Paragon over the years, is like, hey, how do we help people maximize their time in the gym so they can get in, get jacked, and get on with life, right? Because it's like so many people lose out on life because they're not in pictures. It's like, even if we look at, we just passed Christmas time, how many people probably avoided being in pictures with family or loved ones because they don't feel good in their skin or they're uncomfortable with their body. It's like how many people are so hyper fixated. And again, it's like I live this where it's like if you met me in 2015, I was spending 3, 4, 5 hours a day at the gym for what, right? It's like it
How much
isn't
were you
until
missing
present
out
day.
on? Yeah.
Yeah, like how much literally, it's like fast forward present day is, it's like if you scroll me on Instagram, it's like quite literally, we just went and skydived this morning. And then, here I am, it's midnight and I'm like typing away on my computer. But it's just, it's like healing my relationship with my body, with exercise, with food, with nutrition. It's afforded me the ability to now just enjoy life and all the things that life has to offer, right? It's like that I never grew up traveling. Again, being from a small like Midwest town, you like don't do that. Like you just, you stay in your little bubble. And I really related, when you kind of said, hey, like when I went off to college, I just wasn't digging this 9 to 5 and the safe job and all that stuff. It was like growing up, I always felt like this black sheep, and I always, it was square peg round hole of like, well, hey, like actually, I don't believe you should have a job that you hate and that you dread going to every day. But it's like in the Midwest, everything is like that, where it's like, oh, get your safe job, find your person, get married ASAP, start pumping out kids, and it's just like this expectation and this thing. And here, it was like initially right after college, I actually worked at State Farm. I sold insurance because Bloomington Normal, where I'm from, is headquarters for freaking insurance. And so, sure enough, it's like I had all the things. I was making okay money. I had the 401k, and I had never been so miserable in
Yeah.
my life. So it's like I remember I worked there exactly 6 months to the dot, and I remember I called both of my parents. And I was like, "Hey, listen." This was cool and all. It's definitely not for me. I love it for anybody. Like, if you love it, go get some, but like, this isn't me. And, it's like, even in my world, I've always just been so passionate about, it's like, I didn't come from money. It's not something I grew up with. And so it's not something that is motivational for me or, wasn't exciting for me. And so, it's like I've always been just like on the other end of I want to love what I do and I
Mhm.
want to feel like I'm making a difference. And it's like with nutrition coaching, the thing that attracted me to nutrition coaching is we can go or at the other 23 hours a day. Like if we're coaching a fitness class or something, it's like, well, yeah, I can give somebody the best hour of their day. But nutrition goes after the other,
Right.
24/7, 365, right? And so it's like that's what got me into nutrition coaching as well is just it's like, man, if I can get here and I can get to this really awesome harmony with all of these things that I used to have just such disordered habits and relationships with, like, if I can get there, oh my gosh, like you can get there too, right? It's like it doesn't have to be that way for you. And so it's why I've just been so passionate about all of it, because it's like, hey, if we can help people eat well and show up and feel their best, it's like I always would tell people in my introduction calls for nutrition, be like, hey, listen, it's like right now, you probably feel like shit and you don't even know it, right? It's like we don't know how terrible we feel until we
Right.
know what it's like to feel good. But it's like as a result of us working one-on-one together with our coaching, well, you're going to show up as a better wife or a better husband. You're going to show up as, a better parent, a better, whatever it is you're at your job, right? And so it's like the gym is self-development, having really good nutrition habits and understanding how to actually take care of your body, that's life changing. And so when we're not spending all of that time hyper obsessing about what we look like and stressing over our food and the way we're exercising, it just frees up so much space to go do cool stuff and
Mhm.
travel. And again, that's something that you've gotten into like the past 2 years, and it's been so cool to see. Is it's like, oh shit, like Alex
Hey,
is
we're
in
going to
Colombia
Egypt
this
next
month,
March.
or
I mean, this March,
I
though.
know we're
Yeah.